Welcome to Liberty Uncensored with myself, Matthew Marconi, and my co-host, Jordan Maskell. Our guest today is the founder of Ace. What's your website? Dividend?
Oh, it's dividenddigger.com.
Dividenddigger.com. Ace Shin. This guy's a personal friend of mine who's taught me some shit about investing and thinking long term. And we're going to just shoot the shit and talk, pick his brain a little bit. Eh, Maskell?
Well, see, I like these sort of episodes because I haven't really talked to Ace much before.
Yeah, you met Ace 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. And so it's good when you're going on a show, you don't really know the person. So that's why, everything comes out organically. And of course, I don't really know much about dividends or anything like that. So, of course.
Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Cool, glad to be here.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
No, so don't really know what to expect. So I'm just kind of going with it.
Right on. Yeah, well, Maskell's done, this will be episode 201.
No, not on my show.
Oh, right, this is Liberty Uncensored. I don't
Yeah.
even know what show I'm on, and it's like 2 minutes in. That's a great start.
Jesus, Mark.
What the fuck am I doing with my time?
Dropping the ball. But no, this is the third episode of Liberty Uncensored. We had Dave on as our first guest. Small, of course, number 2, which is probably what he'll end up being in this league this year.
This is our reporter friend out of Banff. When the three of us get online, we just end up trash talking pretty well nonstop for about 2 hours.
There's a lot of trash talk.
Yeah. We have a fantasy hockey league together, and yeah, we're big trash talkers. Anyways, but back to you, dude. So I'm gonna ask you a whole bunch of dividend questions if you're cool with that. I know we've talked about that a bunch of times.
How do I make money?
So like
number one question: how do we all make money?
Yeah, all right. Let's start there. How do we all make money through dividends, Ace? That's not even. Is that possible?
Yeah, totally. Basically, all the dividend really is just like a payment from like a share of a company.
Right.
And people seem to complicate it more than what it actually really is. But when you go and you buy like stocks in a company, you're actually just buying like a tiny little piece of it.
Right.
And because you own this tiny piece, you get, part of the revenue according to, the amount of shares you have.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And a lot of people think, it's like volatile here, bear market there, and, it's going to collapse or, but all you're doing is you're just turning yourself into a business owner. You just really what the stock market does is it allows you to just basically pick whatever company you like. Like say, for example, you like Walmart.
Yeah.
And you legitimately think it's going to, do well over the years.
Yeah.
Buy a piece of it. Just like that's all it really is. Like,
so what happens if it goes down though? Can you still lose money?
Well, yeah, I guess you can lose money, but it depends on whether or not you want to pull out. And
that's what she said.
Yeah, totally. Otherwise known as crystallizing too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what jizz does if it's left untreated, crystallized.
Yeah, stay safe. It's real painful now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really easy. So all it really happens when the company goes down, right? Everyone's like, oh, like I just lost a bunch of money. But it's like, no, it's like just the value of the company that you own. Just a portion of it has just gone down in value, but it doesn't mean that that's what it actually is.
So you're saying that if you stay in it long term, then what you're really going for is is it monthly dividend that they pay out rather than like whether the company goes up or down?
Like some of these companies, usually they paid in every 3 months. So per year, it's paid on a quarter.
Okay.
So whenever they talk about like, how much money comes in or how much profits or losses, whatever, and you hear them refer anything to, they'll usually say like a quarter kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's like every 3 months. And that's when dividends are put out. But, sometimes you'll get companies that are real estate and without getting too into the detail, it's kind of just how, with paying rent, you pay on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, they pay the shareholders instead of quarterly, they pay on a monthly.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right. They come in months and they come in every 3 months typically. But yeah, the way that these companies work is they say, okay, for one share, we're going to pay you this amount. So this set amount stays constant until they decide to change it.
Okay.
But until then, like it doesn't really move with the market.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
So at least having that share, it doesn't matter whether or not the price of your company, your market volatility goes up or down. You're still going to have that same payment next quarter, right?
Then why do so many people own stocks without dividends? Because like that now that I understand, like especially like through you've explained this a little bit to me. Like it seems like a no-brainer if you're going to own a stock. Why wouldn't you own a stock where someone's going to pay you for owning that stock, right? As opposed to just hoping it goes up.
I think that's like what I like to call that is like whenever I buy stocks, I usually like to make sure that they have like this thing intrinsic value.
Yeah.
Whereas like say for example you buy a bar of gold, like cool, like yeah, sure, like it may go up as time goes by.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you're just hoping that it does. Whereas like, you know, you buy a company of like say healthcare medical products, and, you know, those get bought like time and time again.
Right.
And then you know that no matter what, someone's gonna need your product.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so this thing's gonna keep creating me like something. Whereas gold, you're just hoping that. So when I say intrinsic, it's got some sort of like factor that actually is income producing no matter what. So
They're creating something.
yeah, totally.
Right. Right.
Do you have to do like some substantial research for this shit too? Like I like my whole thing with just giving any sort of money is more so like I'm about not having to put a lot in because I don't think the risk is as great as reward, right? So it's like, would I have to research more about the company and
no, you don't like okay. I guess it kind of goes in two ways, really. Like, for me, like the amount of like effort that I had to go into learning before feeling confident and putting like money into the market is, you know, I read a couple books here and there, and you know, kind of read some online blogs and stuff like that, and you know, the way that I kind of got into the blogs, right, and figuring out, you know, out of all the thousands of them, which one in particular is to kind of follow, is, you know, I'd read the book first that actually has like, you know, is reputable, has lots of good reviews and stuff like that. And, you know, kind of learn about that. And I was just lucky enough, the first book I picked up kind of resonated with my habits already.
Okay.
And
what book was that?
it was called The Lazy Investor.
Okay.
And
I thought he was going to say The Art of the Deal.
No, no, but that would be a good one to read. But no, it's the reason why I bought it is when I Amazoned it, I just typed in how to invest Canada, because I wanted to make sure I was following like
Canadian rules, yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it just listed all these different like books on investing, like, you know, Canadian investing for dummies, blah blah blah. And then I just seen one book, and this is where I totally judged the book by its cover.
Yeah.
And this is where I think it's okay.
The hot chick on the author part.
What's that?
I was saying the hot chick on the author part.
Oh no, it wasn't a girl on it. But the reason why I thought it was really
of course
appealing,
not.
it was
you want to be successful.
Sorry, what was that last part with the girl? I don't remember.
You want to be successful. It was a chick.
It's more so a misogynistic joke.
Yeah, sex sells though.
Well, I was you know, Marconi appreciates that type of humor, so I'm just trying to cater to him.
Oh, good.
Do I? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
But yeah, with the title of the book is what really caught my attention, and it's like The Lazy Investor. That I thought, like, who wouldn't want to make money while being lazy? Like, it just that's.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because
Yeah.
like everyone wants to know, like, especially once you reach a point where you're like, I say as an investor, you've told me your first philosophy is get out of debt first, right?
Yeah, definitely. You want to get out of debt. So, you know, being in a position where you can actually put, you know, good chunks of your paycheck into this kind of income producing asset.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get that in as quick as possible, and you can't do that if you got all these different payments lingering around, you know, sucking that out.
Right.
So,
and then if you get to that point and have a certain amount of savings, then the idea is, okay, how can I just, like you said, be lazy and have these savings make money for me, right?
Totally.
Put your money to work. And
yeah. I guess too, like going back on that first thing you said about paying debt off first, like it's yes and no. Like you definitely want to pay yourself first too.
Okay.
Just simply because time is an investor's best friend. Like, it relies off like the principle of compound interest, where, you know, basically in order for there to be exponential growth, you have to allow it a large window of time for that to happen. So maybe if it's going to take you years and years and years and years, where you got to sacrifice, you know, precious time of compounding to pay off your debts without even having any money working for you, would be kind of silly too. So even if you have debt, you want to definitely start paying yourself and getting some money working for you as early as possible.
Then how do you do that, the exponential growth through dividend investing?
Well, that's the thing about dividend investing is anytime you get these dividends, you just say, okay, rather than paying me like into one of my accounts and just holding it as cash, we'll just take whatever you pay me and I'll put it back into the company. And then that way I'll have a little bit more. So for the next quarter or month, you'll pay me accordingly to how much I own. And at this point, since I own more, that next payment will also be a little bit more. And so you're always constantly bringing.
Oh, so you're reinvesting your dividends back into
yeah,
the company,
totally.
And that helps compound.
Yeah.
It.
With that being said, you also mentioned earlier about how people worry about markets going up and down.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is an event where, you know, you have this automatic reinvesting cycle where if it goes down, great, you just bought more of the company because.
Well, if you bought Target or say Blockbuster Video.
Okay, yeah, totally.
So it's like you have to like be somewhat conscious of the
100%. I'm glad you said that because you can't just go and buy companies. Oh, like, you know, it says here that this company is only $10, but it wants to pay, you know, $1 for every share you have. Like, that's a substantial amount. Like, that's a 10% yield, which is not that common.
Right.
Like, you see most companies that are very good have dividend yields. Okay, we'll just say maybe about 3%.
Okay.
And then, you know, when the markets are a little bit low, you know, you'll see, you know, high quality companies with the dividend yield being quite a bit higher, like maybe 4 or 5%. And that's just because, you know, in relative to their price.
Okay.
Right. So,
like we were, honestly, me and a couple people, I won't name names because it was kind of ridiculous, but we were looking into invest in a hovercraft company. and the way the company portrayed themselves, it's like, it wasn't the fact of, okay, we're all jumping on speeder bikes like in Star Wars and driving to Mos Eisley. No, it was about like having these hovercrafts to be able to fly over crops and things like that as a way to, you know, somewhat do crop dusting. And we're thinking, okay, well, think about how many fields there are in fucking North America that produce crops that would need things that were sprayed on, you know, pesticides, insecticides, whatever. Cool. And I'm just like, you know, it seems like a good idea, but I just don't want to put my fucking money down on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm on the same side as you. You know, I think of it in this aspect. You know, for one, we'll get the first obvious out of the way. Yeah, sure. There's potential that this thing could, you know, skyrocket and be huge, but that's a small chance.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? Like, so how about this? How about I offer you a company that, that produces a product, it produces a service. Yeah, we'll say it produces a product that you're gonna buy no matter what kind of environment you're in. Whether
food,
not just you can say food, you
drink.
Okay, but how about this? How about toilet paper?
Okay, yeah.
All right, toilet paper, toothpaste,
so commodities,
like things that are actual necessities,
right?
You know, things that would fit into the lower aspect of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like, you know, something that is like a conglomerate. So.
Well, the only like anti thing against toilet paper is, well, people who wouldn't wipe or the bidet.
You're right. You're right. But there are ways to prove though that despite those, you know, other things that could be somewhat as competition.
Okay.
You look at like how the company changes, how much it pays out, you know, to the shareholders. Like, it's not going to keep the same profits. You know, it's not going to keep raising its profits while paying the shareholders, you know, the same amount. Like, you know, year over year, they actually will increase the dividend. So, okay, you have your dividend yield, say it's 4%. Say you had a really good company that has been increasing that payment year over year because also stock price goes up, all that stuff. But so say you own enough companies to produce maybe $1,000 a year, right? That company did really good. So your company value went up. So boom, you just went up a little bit more, right? Those dividends you reinvested, bought more of the company, that went up. And then to make it even sweeter, because the company did so good last year, they're going to increase the value of how much you're going to pay out that year. So you got like a triple, you know, kind of action going for you. And depending on whatever account you put it in, if it's a tax savings account, that's quadruple right there. And you're just maximizing as much different ways to increase your gains.
So
really.
To Mascal's point then about how like companies can always go broke, right?
Yeah.
I take it that means that part of your strategy is you're looking for like established big corporations that,
totally.
you know, Bell
100%.
or banks or things that are going to be there long term, right?
Exactly.
Because small businesses, you never know.
Yeah.
So your portfolio is heavier like big corporations?
Yeah, like I own pretty much all the big banks in Canada. Like, for example, like if you look into like the history of dividends and when they get paid out by these companies, like for example, I think BMO, they've been paying a dividend nonstop. So they've never withheld a dividend payment in over 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And what's their dividend?
Their dividend right now is like around maybe 3%, maybe 4%. But
Okay.
their yield's about that. But like every year they've increased their dividend. Probably like maybe I just went over my entire portfolio and figured out like the average of all my dividends going up from each company. And I seen how BMO was. I think it was anywhere from like 5 to 10% year over year that it brought it up or something like that. But either way, it's going up. Like profits going up, and we all know how the media, right, displayed how our economy is doing. We're just, everyone's broke, we're all suffering, blah blah blah. It's like, how are these companies making so much money? Like they got to take money from people, and if you're as broke as you say everyone, or the media saying how broke everyone is like, how are these companies making more money then? Like if everyone's truly broke, even companies will start losing money. Like,
But doesn't it cost a lot of money? And you can take your hand off the mic. You're okay. You're okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. But doesn't it cost a lot of money to get in to buy, say, stocks? It's buying stocks with the bank. So it's like, if a stock is like $200 for one, it's gonna be sort of pricey.
It's definitely lofty for sure.
So if I spent $200 for one stock of BMO or whatever it is, what would with the dividend? So I would be getting money back each year based on money.
Each quarter, you said, right?
Each quarter, of what the company has made and what my stock is now worth.
It's not like what it's worth, so to speak, because
it's what they're gonna pay me, though.
Yeah, like what they pay you is the same. Like, so say for example, you bought BMO for $50. Okay. And their yield isn't like, we're gonna give you 5%. What their actual yield is like, okay, so for one share of BMO, we're gonna pay you like 70 something cents every quarter, or whatever it may be, or however, after you add the 4 quarters up, that's what's the 5% of whatever it's valued at the time.
Okay.
Right? But they give you, they just say like, we're going to pay you maybe $5 a year in dividends for one share kind of thing. And then whatever, like say on September, the price of BMO went down to like $25. So the dividend yield would double, right? Say by the end of that year, or whatever, it was $100. It was worth $100. That dividend yield would be in half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the dividend stays the same. The yield changes with the market kind of thing.
Okay.
So like, at the end of the year, like they will pay you. But the thing is, like, that's not even guaranteed either. But that's the reason why you choose established companies, right? Like,
right.
So like you always go back on seeing like how long they've been paying a dividend, how many years in a row they.
Right.
And you got to also, imply things like common sense, like. Do you legitimately have reasons to think that banks are going to lose money as years go by, like, and stuff like that? Or you think that Coca Cola is going to go out of business? There's like right now, I say Coca Cola because I personally think right now Coca Cola is a good time to buy. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the market about Coca Cola for whatever reason, like maybe a new CEO, or there's like sugar taxes, or apparently India is like the whole country, India is like trying to ban Coca Cola. So everyone's like, and we all know how much.
That's 1 billion plus people.
Yeah,
right
totally.
There, right?
So people are freaking out and all that stuff. And it's like, hey, cool, like freak out. But I kind of want to be a good investor. And if you want to be a good investor, why not try and do habits of other good investors, right?
So I take it that means Coke's down right now. And like you were saying earlier in the.
Well, Warren Buffett said, like, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful.
Right.
Everyone's being fearful right now. So it's like
whatever everyone's doing, you want to do the opposite.
A little bit
typically.
Typically,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So currently Coca Cola is at $42.12 US a share.
Yeah.
It's down 0.05, which I'm not really sure what all this means.
That's just 5 cents today.
But it's gained like $1 over, from what I'm seeing here, over a day. It's gained $1.
That's actually pretty good, I think, for Coca-Cola. Let me just pull up this here.
But because
you're saying that Coca-Cola is an established brand that isn't going away, and if everyone's being fearful, typically that means the price is going to go down over time, and if it goes down, that's just a fire sale for you as a dividend investor.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. How long have you been at building your portfolio?
Probably like 4 years now.
4 years?
I think it's been 4 years. Yeah.
Damn.
It's been a long time, but yeah, I think about maybe 3.5, 4 years ish. I know my first. So let's see. I would have had my first portfolio opened in I think 2012.
Okay.
And that's what 17. So yeah, 4.5, 5 years ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I started actually a lot young. Like at the time, it didn't seem like I was starting really that young.
How old were
'cause I was so
you when
eager
you
to
started?
start. 22.
22. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I just kept on going with it. Like it just worked out really good. Like I had roommates at the time. I didn't really have a whole lot of debt.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I kind of got excited and bought a truck when I first moved here, but you know, after like seeing how much I had to pay into it every month, like it just bummed me out. Like just thinking like life is not supposed to be just like paying like a payment. Like it's actually meant to be like going somewhere kind of thing.
For
Just, like,
sure.
enjoying.
Yeah.
Which is like another reason why like I've chose, you know, this lazy investor path, because ultimately what you're doing is you're creating a stream of passive income. Like shit, like you could be on, like you could go and travel wherever you want, one-way ticket, and just hang out there as long as you want. And then when you feel like leaving, then you go.
See, that's what I want to do, but without the travel. I'd love to
Like
just
just teleport somewhere or
well,
what?
no, we're not futuristic shit, but no, just be able to be at the house doing, say, a show every day, yet I'm
Yeah.
still making money because of my investments.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I have
dude.
zero investments right now, so we'll talk off air, of course, about
Yeah,
things that I should
absolutely.
invest in. We don't want to give it all away, Marconi. These
Well, Ace
insight-
gives it all away on Dividend Digger, right?
Yeah,
your
well,
your portfolio's out there. You've been
have,
interviewed by people.
portfolio. Yeah, I got my portfolio like for everyone to see exactly like how much I own, what I.
So exactly for me, being a non-investor, having nothing in the game,
Yeah.
how much money would it take for me to start out
Okay.
as a you know, a newbie with this shit
Mhm.
and make a comfortable amount where I'm staying at home all the time?
Well, okay, it's kind of a because you're saying to get started, right?
Well, to get started,
But then
so
also
you-
living comfortably at home, like you can't just get started and
Well,
instantly start living comfortably.
We'll say comfortably, and in the $2 to $3 grand, mostly $3 grand.
Okay, how about this?
price
Grab your
range.
phone, and I want you to look up a stock called HNR.UN, and then you can follow with me as I kind of explain the different.
What is it?
Okay, so what this company is, it's a real estate investment trust located in Calgary.
So it's H.
So HR dot. So just type in H and R. So H with the little and sign here, like a figure 8 kind of thing.
Okay.
And then it should just say H&R REIT.
A REIT is a real estate investment trust.
Exactly. It's just the acronym of
Right.
the 4 words.
It's kind of like a way to invest in real estate
That's exactly
without
what it
really
is.
owning a house.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because if you own this share, right, you get paid a monthly, you get a monthly payment every month. And
Right.
just like any other company, you got the option to reinvest it every month too. So
Cool.
So, are you at the what do you call it? At the
Yeah.
information page.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, you're talking about
38 properties, 156 retail properties, 101 industrial properties.
that's definitely the one. But what I want you to look at though is the like the little quick information about it, about like the stock price, the yield, the 52-week high, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, what is it currently priced here at? $22.88, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to give you an idea of how much you'll make, all right? So one thing about REITs is typically they pay a little bit of a higher yield than most other companies. And I think it has something to do with the way real estate gets taxed in Canada, which allows them to have a higher yield.
Mm-hmm.
But that I digress. If you look at the yield of it, it's 6%, all right? That yield basically means, so let's see here. Do you have the dividend that it pays? Does it tell you what its dividend actually is?
It's I think it says 1.37999999.
Okay, so if you take that, that's how much it paid in 1 month.
Okay.
So that's the entire dividend divided into its installments. So to actually figure out what one stock's dividend is for the entire year, because that's what it is really, is you take that installment and you multiply it by 12, because there's 12 months in a year.
So you make about $12 roughly.
1.99, or is it 0.9999?
No, it's 1.3799.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Then you got to take that number, because that's its actual yearly.
Okay.
So you take that and you divide that by 12, and that's what you get paid a month.
Oh shit.
No, it's actually
kind of kaif, to be honest with you.
What's that mean?
It's kind of kaif, like shitty. Like it's I'm making $1.30 divided by 12.
But put it in this terms though, like that works out to 6% return on.
Well, I might as well just go to the fucking ditch and pick up beer bottles and take it back to the store.
But that's just it. You don't have to. That's the thing.
Yeah,
but you have to do that though. That's a thing.
Yeah, but it's easy. It's like I'll make more money doing that than fucking investing in these companies.
But you know what? That's only for
That's
dude,
for one share.
That's
right?
for $22.88.
Yeah, but
what's $22.88?
That's some groceries right there. That's a subscription a month to a podcast network to get some free or get some paid content.
All right,
right?
that's cool and all, but like if you start doing this early, you don't even need a whole lot to get started. This is the beauty of dividend growth investing.
Okay.
If you pair it with time, you don't need a lot of money. It's effortless, really. And the longer you invest, the more it grows.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the saying, like someone's like, "Hey, if I give you a penny today, and then the next day you give me 2 pennies, and the day after that you give me 4 pennies, and then the day after that you give me 8 pennies, and the pattern continues."
Who are you giving? Why are you giving this guy pennies?
Just this is to display the power.
Reparations for a rape charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is to highlight how profound compound interest works.
Okay.
Because this is how you make your money. So basically, you know, as time goes by, you know, you're doubling up. You're making huge like gains, but you're starting off 1 penny. That's
and it's
the
an
thing.
absurdly high
By the
number
time
after
you get
like
to 30
20 or
days,
30, something
by the
like
time
that.
you get to 30 days, I'm pretty sure it works out to like $1 million or close to like at least 100,000
in 30 years.
30 days.
30 days.
It works. You start from pennies and you end up like in the thousands.
Well, I have some
hundreds.
pennies. Like I can give them to you.
But no, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Can you turn these into millions, please?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't work quite like that. But you know what I mean, though. You don't need a lot to start off. So basically, like it's crazy. Like you hear people say, like you buy 1 share of Coca Cola like 80 years ago, it'd be worth millions, millions. Like,
well, now it's only worth $40.
However much the entire.
Well, but they've been paying dividends, right?
But yeah, that's just it. They've been
true.
paying
Yeah,
dividends.
that's what he's saying.
And you reinvest the dividends, dude. Right there, millions and millions of dollars off 1 share from however many decades ago. But yeah,
I don't know. It seems still risky to me. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. And I don't blame you. Like I've had companies, like I'm not saying all the companies I've chose have been winners, but the vast majority of them have been. So
yeah,
you know, the stock market, I think there's a lot of fearfulness in it, but I don't know. You're not going to make money by not doing anything anyways. Like you got to risk it for the biscuit anyways.
Yeah.
Like this, like for example, like for like any kind of company, right? You got to put money into it for it to grow. Like if you think of it, like this is an investment too, right?
So what's your background with all this financial shit?
I just read the book and then just
That's it.
I just straight up read
you
the book.
didn't go to like financial school.
No.
He was also born Korean.
I was born,
Yeah.
Came from Korean descent, so it was pretty much like.
Well, I figured one of the, I don't know, 6 or 7 over there. Indonesia, there's what is it? Laos, there's Thailand, fucking Vietnam.
That'd be rad. I would love to go back to Korea. Korea's the best.
I'd love to go too.
It's like just the smoothest surface ever for skateboarding. Oh yeah, I skateboard on the side too, Mescal.
I was gonna say it's like you're skateboarding. Which area are you heading up? The south or the north?
Oh yeah, totally. The south.
Okay,
the south for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to get back if I went to the north.
Of course not.
But apparently there's
it's
like
a shitty area.
There's like
there.
crazy shit that I'm hearing, man. Like there's actually like I'm seeing like viral stuff on the internet. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's believable. But these like it's like claiming that these North Korean girls escaped North Korea. And, like,
they probably did.
They're here to tell like their story to the world, and like a part of me wants to click it, but a part of me doesn't want to, just because like
you want to see how hot they are.
They're also testing warheads off the coast of Japan. I saw
for
that
real,
the other
hey?
day. Yeah, North Korea. Yeah, they're starting to piss some people off.
Feisty.
Jeez, yeah.
You know, as long as you're pissing off the environmentalists. It's all good.
Yeah, right? That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Oh,
pissing
man.
off the environmentalists.
So, okay, you want to know something? It depends on like how you feel about like environmentalists, but like I don't know. I think I respect.
I think they should all.
Part.
I think they should all be killed for the sake of the envierment.
No, like
or be raped by one of the animals they're trying to save.
We're being a little brash here. I think we should. I think photosynthesis is a very important thing. You know, I don't think we need to increase tax levies on like carbon and stuff like that.
That's ridiculous.
No, like it was kind of like a funny thing to read on the headlines. There's a company that I own, it's called Trans Canada, and they're the ones that are really pushing for this Keystone XL pipeline, right? Where there's all those protests.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. It's like Trump comes in, first thing he does, just we're putting it through, and that was something Obama just
he squashed, right?
Years he had the satisfaction of just like pissing off lots of people that wanted to work hard and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, sick, like time for a little bit of change. And then I was just like, and then you see accordingly to the news, Trans Canada like up a couple points the next day.
So your point is, fuck environmentalists, I got dividends that I want to compound.
Yeah, man. These environmentalists, they can come and tax me all they want, but my dividends are in a tax sheltered account, so they ain't shook.
Oh yeah. So did you have any hesitation when you started the blog to put your portfolio online? Because like you got everything out there, like everything.
Yes and no. Like the only reason, well, there's a couple of reasons, I guess. The main reasons really was, there is a lot of people that, not a lot, there's a couple people that I also like reading their blogs, and I thought I need a way to communicate with these people. Like, if I'm taking this serious, like I actually gotta like, somehow be able to talk to these guys and ask some questions, and get some inspiration as to what type of companies I should buy and all that stuff. And it was always kind of cool to see them comment on my website here and there, and then kind of let them give me like some sort of affirmation that all these like-minded people all agree like going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So like that's good too, and not only that, but it's like accountability too.
Right.
So like it's weird. Like I'll go through times where like I won't post on my site for so long, and there's still gonna be like something in the back of my head, like, oh man, like you're not gonna just stop posting forever. Like you're gonna put something up there again.
I know the struggle. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
should just do a podcast.
Yeah.
It's you sit down in front of a microphone, you talk into it, and you release it. You do your little. It's like an audio blog.
Yeah, and that's true.
And then you could just transcribe what you just said onto paper, and boom, there's two different platforms.
That's
right
like another way of like people like getting lots of work done in a small amount of times, like outsourcing, right? Like, isn't it like the guys from South Park when they first started their shows? Like it was all just those guys, right?
Yeah,
Trey Parker, just
cardboard, construction paper,
whatever. They just like did, what do you call it, stop art animation or whatever.
Yeah.
Like take a picture, it took like thousands,
frame by frame.
Yeah. But like they got to the point where they're able to hire people to just do the grunt work, and all they had to do was.
I think they have a production company where it's just like they have their own artists, they have their own graphic designers,
so it's kind of like
animators and shit like that.
When you get to, so are you gonna do that with your guys' podcast?
Oh, it's already started. This is just the beginning.
Oh man,
we're gonna be, and not necessarily even this podcast network, but just Liberty Multimedia in general. That's the whole idea is having a bunch of people and building just something together where it's big, everybody's getting paid, but a lot of people are getting content that's enjoyable as well, right? Not everybody enjoys the Maskell sessions, which is also available here on the Maskell Podcast Network. But
plugs like a pro.
Absolutely, Marconi. I've been doing this shit forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not everybody likes my show, I'm sure, and I'm offensive, I'm uncensored. But then it's all about providing other people. Like, say, I would love my sister to have a podcast or a video show on Liberty that teaches dog training and being sponsored by, say, a dog, like a food company or a product company. So it's all about like people working together, where it's like a small businesses across Canada, because that's our market here at Liberty. We're all across Canada. Local just doesn't cut it for big numbers unless you're working like a newspaper and things like that, at least from what I see. But yeah, that's the idea anyway. Just keep expanding and building this thing. And I'm not content till we're making money and I get to do a show every day.
Yeah, totally.
5 days a week I would do a show. You have to have a couple days off, but
so the only kind of work you really got to put in is just maybe like a little bit of like questions to ask and stuff like that.
But I love that
keep
stuff.
Conversations flowing.
I love that stuff though, and you get to the point where you don't even. I don't have any questions written down for you. I'm just I'm talking because we've been doing this for fucking years.
I did. I had a few.
That's all.
Well, of course you do.
Yeah. Okay, so in 4 years, then you went from nothing to, okay, I'm going to go, pretty well full steam into this?
Yeah, really, like, okay, to start things out, like, definitely got lucky, like, with my job and stuff like that. Like, if it wasn't, the job that I have that allowed me to pay off debt kind of quick and allow me to get started right away.
Yep.
Probably wouldn't have been where I'm at right now, but I know at some point it would have. Just does its own thing.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, started out with maybe about 15K, I think, 16, 15K, which is like still quite a bit.
Oh, fuck yeah, I can't afford that shit.
Which is still quite a bit, but like, still like, you had to save
just
up
15, 16K, Marconi,
And you put that into a bunch of different dividend stocks?
Yeah, well, basically, like so I was putting away, seriously, probably 70% of everything I was making for 4 years.
You just gave me an idea we're going to talk about off the air, Marconi. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, I would seriously take at least like 70% of my take-home income, and I would strategically invest it into different companies utilizing different accounts that allowed me to even get more money back at the end of the year doing taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember, because I didn't start until I was 22 and I've been working since I was 19.
Okay.
I had quite a bit of contribution room into this tax deferring account kind of thing, or income tax saving, whatever.
Automatically, or you set that up?
I set it up, but like it's like you hear it all the time. Like, tax season comes around, you hear people talking about these things called RRSPs.
Yeah.
Like, really, it's almost kind of like a weird word. Like, a lot of people have heard of it, but really don't know what it is.
Right.
All it is an account that if you put money into, whatever you want to do with that money and you make it grow, it's not taxed by the government while it grows. And when you pull it out is when they tax you.
Okay.
But the point is you take your money right now and we'll pay you back the taxes that we tax you for it. And we'll let you take that money and then let it grow. So when you pull it out, you don't get taxed as much. So you're ultimately saving more of the money you make.
Right.
But no, so I would do that though, save a lot of my income every month and basically invest it as soon as I had it. Like, I would maybe have like the money saved up for maybe 3-4 days before I'm like, okay, I'm selling it. And then in the meantime, while I'm waiting for paychecks and stuff to accumulate, that's when I'm doing more research on what the companies I wanted. So right. Every time I got paid, I was always ready to just take it instantly, throw it into the market. So like, as soon as I got the money, I think it stayed like maybe idle for like 3 weeks before it actually got sent out. It was like the average turnaround maybe. Yeah.
Okay. And then you just kept adding to it over the course.
Yeah. Like, sometimes I'd see a company where, like, if I wanted to get started with being able to reinvest the profits, you got to have a pretty substantial amount of money. And so, for example, that H&R company I was telling you about earlier, how it has a 6% yield. So it pays what, $1.39, right? So what you want to do is you got to basically buy enough shares of that company. So, okay, you would need
a lot of fucking money.
You would need, no, I'm just trying to think. You'd probably need at least $4,000 at least to be able to reinvest like $30 a month.
And I just have a trouble putting my faith into something that's not, run by me, I guess.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And like, I think that's kind of where like my tendencies to be super lazy really kicks in, because I'm lazy enough that I'd risk my money.
Yeah.
In hopes that one day I don't ever have to lift a finger.
Shoot for the stars.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't mind.
And how are you doing so far at dividends? After
it's doing
4
great.
years?
Right now, I just bought a couple more companies, and that's put me at around almost passively, I would say around $9,000 a year.
In dividends?
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, that's just dividends alone.
That's some good lazy money.
Yeah. So like, basically every year, if I saved everything up, it'd be like a $9,000 cash bonus, really.
Right on.
But all I do with it is I don't get paid it just $9,000 on January 1st. It's
right.
Like all that broken up into like hundreds of different payments.
Right.
Because at this point, I think I have like 22 different companies.
Okay.
That I have enough stake in that I can get them to reinvest automatically back. And some companies I have enough that I can reinvest multiple times over. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So rather than like starting over with different stocks, you're trying to reinvest in the ones that you already own. Yeah, I'm just getting bigger
like portions of the current holdings that I already have.
Right.
So
right.
like, this year I have 100 shares of whatever BMO, and then by next year, I'm not going to buy any more BMO. What's the point? I'll have 104 at least by the year after.
right,
kind of thing, and just keep letting it build up. And the thing is, like, it's going to grow exponentially over time. So it's going to accelerate faster the longer you let it sit.
How often do you sell stock, if ever?
There's been a couple times I had to liquidate. Like, so for example, if I notice a company has been failing, and like, for example, we'll say Potash. Potash was a company that I thought was really good, and like my justification for buying that company is because they were probably one of the world's largest potash producers. And what this is like a type of fertilizer, not fertilizer, but it's like what you use to like grow crops and stuff like that. And so, you know, like 75% of China's potash consumption came from this company kind of thing. So like,
Okay.
you know, they're on an international global scale, and they're located in Saskatchewan actually.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they're on the, I'm pretty sure they're both on the American and the Canadian stock market. But I got mine on the Canadian stock market, and like a weird thing happened. I guess there's like a potash cartel, and like it's located in Russia.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
a Russian potash.
So there's like
cartel.
some sort of like
Jesus.
tension. There's like different things happening like years back, and potash just has been kind of doing a little bit slower due to slower economic times, you know, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So they actually slashed a dividend quite significantly, and I think that's pretty much my selling point. Is once the company decides to take out a dividend, that's when it's like, okay, well, you had your run. And so yeah, Potash did slash your dividend quite a bit. Like I was getting about every quarter $60, right? And now it turned to $24. So it's like they brought it down quite a bit. Like,
Third almost.
Yeah. So if you're like one day retiring and you're depending on this income to live, and like a third of it's
I hope
gone.
I'm not at the point where I'm retiring and I'm relying on potash for my.
Yeah, totally.
Come on, potash.
Well,
Come on.
you have potash. You'd have lots. You know, a smart guy would actually have a couple extra things.
Yeah,
but
right.
Everything in potash, that'd be ridiculous.
So
Can I say retarded?
So yeah, totally. You can say anything you want. You can say anything the fuck you want on here, Ace. So you said 22 companies or something like that.
think
So
22,
that's a
like
good. So obviously that's a basic investing platform, right? Diversify, have more than one. You don't want to go all in on anything.
Yeah,
right?
like I break it down in different sectors, of course. Like I got telecoms, I got energy, I got financials. I think I have also too, you know, real estate. I broke it down actually.
Agriculture, even.
Agriculture, maybe at the time, but I got rid of potash actually. So
Right. So your point being that anytime a company decides to slash a dividend, that's just a sign that they're simply not generating as much revenue.
well, that's just it too. Like I find like a company should be able to weather like any kind of like, you know, stormy days or
Right.
stormy years, whatever.
A big company, anyway.
Big companies like, you know, look at CN Rail, for example. You've heard of that, right? You've seen the cards. That's the biggest railway infrastructure in all of North America. There's going to be no competition whatsoever. Number one, who's going to compete with someone with that's already established?
Yeah, it's a government monopoly. Yeah.
Actually, I'll figure out how much they got right now, like what their worth is. But it's going to be into the hundreds of billions, I feel. But like, there's going to be no competitors. And these guys have increased their dividend on an average growth rate of, I think, at least 15% year over year for the last 20 years. There's a lot of shit that's gone down in 20 years, mind you.
Well,
That's like
right.
caused markets to go up and down. Like,
Right.
if you can keep pulling profits like that year over year.
So you think in general
Yeah.
for a dividend investor, a monopoly or an oligopoly is actually a good thing? Like, do you own like the telecoms then, like Bell and some of those? Yeah, same reason, because they can't have any competition
Pretty
and
much,
everyone needs internet. You're
Rogers,
like, well,
TELUS, Bell,
right?
got them all.
Right.
Back to CN Rail, they're worth $73.56 billion. So I was a little bit off, but still, that's a lot. That's a lot to be worth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more than Dan Pena.
But yeah, basically, I don't want to have companies that, like, I can wither out companies that maybe don't hike the dividend year over year, depending on like my thoughts on that company and where they'll be.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like Rogers, they've increased the dividend like every year for I think 5 years straight.
Okay.
But this year, 2016, they didn't touch it once. They just left it as is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, come on, man. Like Bell and TELUS brought their dividend up last year, but you guys didn't.
Right.
But like, still, like, I think I'm still willing to hold off from selling.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they'll get that dividend back up. And, you know, they have a lot of hidden assets too. Like, they own that Rogers Stadium. Like, let's not forget, like, and that's never really included in the balance sheets either,
Right.
And just Google how much that thing's worth, right? Like,
how big is the dividend investing community relative to, say, the general investing community?
And what percentage is some kind of Asian?
probably, you know what? It's funny. I've had some people on
because I just assume anybody who's Asian is just automatically good with math. Like,
no,
I would say
I'm good at math.
I was gonna say
math.
you're better at me than math, Ace. Let's not.
You know what? Put
get
it
twisted,
dude. I was horrible at math up until grade 10. Like I went from I think grade 9, I was like around whatever C minus. I was like 60.
Okay.
60 average. Grade 10, dude, I was like 95.
What were you, academic or applied?
I was the pure academic.
Okay. Yeah, I took essentials. We were talking about the other night. I took essentials
retard math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it was honestly, it was better than the fucking what I'll allude to is rocket ship math, because you were learning about real world things. You were learning about how to do bills and
no, it wasn't
taxes.
No, actually, I didn't learn about taxes. Like I didn't learn anything.
No, I'm saying I did
in the essentials math.
Yeah. So I learned all the workplace shit and like the real world stuff, what you need to know. It wouldn't go into like specifics. Everybody was too dumb for stock markets and shit like that.
Like all you're thinking about, man, you're just thinking about busting, not or like hanging with your friends, really, like for real. Hey, like.
Unless you're 21, 22 like you, and you're like, you know what? Let's go full steam into fucking dividend investing.
Yeah,
I play with my dick so much in a day.
I want to just plow hard into money. I feel like that get me off the best. But
so yeah, back to the question on how popular is the dividend investing community compared to the general community.
I would say like it's still kind of like not quite as popular as like the index investors or like the Vanguarders or whatever.
What's a Vanguarder?
I think Vanguard is just like another index fund, but I hear that word thrown around all the time. Like throw it in a Vanguard. Like it must be like another.
Sounds like a rich family like the Rockefellers.
Yeah, it probably is or something.
Right, the Vanguards. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like you could totally tell that based on my lack of like that kind of knowledge. Like lazy investor over here.
Right.
But realistically, like I feel like I've made a good amount of money.
No shit. No shit. That's in 4 years to be getting paid $9,000 regardless of whether or not your stock goes up or down.
Right now,
that's an accomplishment.
Well, in 4 years, like I turned like obviously by putting my own money into it.
Yeah, of course.
I was able to make 15 or 16K into I think almost 225K.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what all my stocks are right now. If I were to
wait, you turned 16K into...
No, but like I started with 16K.
Oh, you started with 16K
like,
and then added to it over
I kept
time.
on adding more.
Right,
but the thing is, like in those 4 years, I didn't add like,
the remainder.
I didn't add 200,000 of my own money. Like,
right.
I maybe added like 100 and some of my own, but like I've got back at least probably like 30%. Yeah, kind of thing. So it's like, good luck finding a bank that will give you that.
Right. Good luck finding that interest rate, 30%.
But right now, actually, so that $9,000 that I have coming in year over year.
Yeah.
When I did the dividend growth rate overall, I basically calculated how much each company increased its dividend.
Okay.
For that year, and then I took all those, I guess, dividend yields or no, the growth.
Yeah.
I took the average of all the growth, and then it worked out to like maybe 5.4%.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's $9,000 on top of it being increased by just routine reinvestments.
Right.
But the actual 9K principal itself is going to be shot up another 4 or 5%. So.
You like gambling?
Do I like gambling? Yeah, gambling's a lot of fun actually. Last time,
like hitting up the casino.
Yeah,
play
totally.
Some slots?
The last time I hit on my the casino, probably 3 years ago. Yeah, drinking a couple drinks and then basically met up with some high energy people that were like, let's go to the casino.
Yeah.
So went to the casino, pulled out maybe $300 and lost probably half of it.
Yeah.
On the slots or the VLTs or whatever. And then I gained back, I think I was up like $300 at the end of the night. So $600 on blackjack.
Blackjack, eh? Nice.
Yeah.
And is it something like, does the dividends give you the same thrill as like the casino?
Give me a way better thrill. Like right now, every month it's like usually around anywhere from $600 to $700 and some bucks.
Okay.
Kind of thing. That's month over month. It's like you legit. It seems like you have like a minimum wage slave like doing your bidding for like,
yeah. It's like free money almost.
That's exactly
right? Yeah.
Like I feel like I have like a little like minimum wage slave like doing my bidding for me.
I'm sure you could get one over in Korea.
Oh well, no, Korea's not that. Maybe like from Thailand or something.
Yeah.
Korea's like pretty expensive place though, for real.
Oh yeah.
They don't even dude, they don't even eat like beef out there. Really, like
they don't eat beef in Korea.
Like they do have beef, but
no,
like
they eat dog, Marconi. Jesus Christ, how are you so ignorant?
Like, not beef. They have beef, but like I wanted steak. Like
like
I'm
a big thick Albert.
Despite
You're an Albertan,
despite like my visible Koreanness, I'm 100% Alberta boy. Like,
yeah, man.
I was raised on steaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When I was in Korea for the 3 weeks or whatever, I wanted a steak the whole time.
It's like I've had Korean barbecue, that
Like
thin beef that they have.
Yeah,
it's still delicious.
But
you want a big steak.
I want a steak, like So or whatever. They have lots of eggs there, which is good.
Yeah.
They got Debase there too. I remember you mentioned that earlier. And they don't flush toilet paper either. So like basically after you're done, shitting.
They probably pick it out of the toilet and use it as fuel to fuel their house.
Yeah.
Throw another log on the fire. Literally.
No, dude, for real. Like that bidet. That bidet, it shoots like high pressure. It feels
water into your ass.
Man, I got one in my apartment. Brittany bought one like last month.
They're powerful,
like a month and a half. Yeah.
They shoot like high pressure.
I was surprised. It's like that's a hell of a way to start your day, Mascal. You sit down to take your morning dump.
You have a robot essentially wash your ass.
And then you've got a hose just.
And isn't there like shit all over the hose from like the blowback?
No,
okay.
No.
Unless I bet you there could be an event
if
where
you really
have,
like get it up in there. But the power from this little bidet hose, you can do it from a distance. And it
at first you like
cleans
when
out
you
your asshole pretty
tell
good.
me the first time you used it must have been like hella like like it really.
Well,
there was that plus like
Fuck.
plus the water everywhere, right? You got to master the art of the angle.
Oh,
like you got to cover like the front of the bowl too, right? And make sure it's not getting everywhere. It takes a little while to master. And then the first time too, like I still wipe with toilet paper after because I didn't
you're
get it all.
supposed to. You should.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine. Well, the thing is like in Korea, like it shoots you right in the butthole, and basically when you dab your ass dry, like there's like a tiny like little light brown smidgen on toilet paper probably, and you just chuck it in the garbage.
Right? Yeah.
Your asshole's like one of those games at the carnival where you're filling up the balloon.
Pretty much. That's exactly good.
Dude, you'll find the more you use the bidet, the fainter and fainter that color swab gets to the point where hey, I got it all, and you can usually tell too if it's like a dry poo. You're like, all right, this is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
But if it's a little messy, you're like,
well, if you got hairy ass, and you're just like, fuck, not this again.
But still, the amount of money you're saving on toilet paper, take that.
That's
Procter
why
&
Brittany
Gamble.
did it. She's like, toilet paper is expensive. Just looking for ways to cut down on expenses and add to our savings.
I don't think it's that expensive.
Hey, thing of toilet paper, like one thing of toilet paper could be anything from
like
anywhere
$6.
Anywhere from $6 to like $15, depending on how many are in a package.
Yeah.
Sometimes more, up to like $20.
Yeah.
But if you also live on your own, by yourself, like I do, it's like
it's funny. We were talking about toilet paper early as having value. When Zimbabwe went into a hyperinflation, I think that was in 2010 or 2012. Like toilet paper was essentially being used as currency.
Oh,
that's how valuable that shit is out there, eh?
Legit, literally.
Yeah. Toilet paper will always have value.
So there you go. As it kind of goes full circle, how I mentioned Procter & Gamble being like the toilet paper, like, authority of the States, really. And Colgate, right? Toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
But, so dividend and growth communities, probably not that big either, but it's growing, though. Like, I've noticed there's been a lot more bloggers over the years. Like, I've had this blog probably since, I think I started, like, after my third month of getting into dividend investing.
Okay.
And I think that's really helped actually for making me stay on track. Like, and it was cool, like, having, like, people start, like, noticing and people, like, giving you shout outs on their websites. And, like, sometimes I go on my analytics Google and I, like, backtrack, like, where all my viewers are coming from or my readers. And it's, like, Russia, like, Argentina, like.
Well, that's what I was doing before Marconi came over. I was checking out where all the different places that have downloaded at least a episode from the podcast.
The listeners, yeah.
There's a lot, Marconi. There's a lot all over the world.
That's pretty cool.
Good percentage in Germany, England. I guess it is England's the country. I even saw a couple in there from Saudi Arabia and
really?
Iran.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What's it called? That's all through analytics too, right?
It's through we use a program called Libsyn, which is what I would recommend anybody who does a podcast
Who wants to get it on iTunes.
Yeah, and it's like a hosting sort of website that will get you up on the, and they've used, I guess there's as of 2014 they host over 25,000 shows, so there's a lot, but it's a little easier than having to like do the coding yourself, and it's just it's easier, right? It's like one of those website builders.
So then basically too, like seeing those followers and just seeing like it's so cool that like whatever you create is being reached out that far across the globe. It's kind of like motivation for you to stay like on top of like producing stuff.
Oh, of course. And even I'm looking at the list right here. Let me just see. It is it's very vast too. So like the biggest ones are like France, United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Netherlands, Slovakia.
We love all you people listening, by the way.
Everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to Russia.
Yeah.
Even if we don't agree with, Islam and stuff like that, we appreciate our listeners in the United Arab Emirates, and we've had downloads as Republic of Korea. Look at that, 3 downloads.
When you say Republic of Korea, like, are you talking like South Korea? Or?
Oh, who the fuck knows?
Or is it Korea in general?
Is that what it says? Republic?
This is important though. You got to know the difference, like whether or not you're.
It says Republic of Korea.
That's South Korea.
It depends. Like, what if you had like millions and millions of viewers at some point, right? And you notice like, holy smokes, like 2 million of my viewers are from North Korea. Like, right. Whoa, like. How do I get up there?
I don't think 2 million North Koreans have internet access.
But we've had a download from the Islamic Republic of Iran, it says here, and
that's
Saudi
beautiful.
Arabia.
That's why I love the internet and multimedia.
It probably
led the ability to communicate with the entire world, right?
Probably led to a death, Marconi. Jesus Christ.
To be true though, that probably is. But like I kind of have this thought, like seriously, when it comes to like how media portrays how the world is.
Yeah.
I feel like depending on who you go to, whether or not like they agree with your beliefs, you're always gonna see almost like a hyper inversion of it.
Yeah.
A little bit of it. There's always gonna be a little bit of bias no matter what.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But listening to my show and say Iran or Iraq or Syria would probably lead to some sort of stoning or a death, because again,
that is true.
And the ones that separate the good ones from that bias is the ones that, of course, everyone has a bias, right? Mm-hmm. But do they admit that bias? Do they run stories that are counter to that bias? Right? Like there's do they make corrections when they make mistakes? All these things can be used to sort out a good news organization from a bad one.
I think the reason too why a lot of at the end of the day, they're gonna do their own thing, whether you like it or not.
No fucking shit. Look at the chaos over there.
So hear me out. I think a lot of us tend to have more, racial tendencies because, we ourselves as a society aren't really delegating how we should act to treat, these mannerisms when they come to our country.
Right.
So for example, okay, sure, you look at somebody and your first thought was okay, there could be a big terrorist or whatever. He's got a beard, he's got a turban, he might have a bomb, blah, blah, blah. But I think if we had better policies, right, we would have less fear of that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think a lot of the things, I might sound a little bit crazy here on this one here. So
awesome.
But seriously,
don't worry, I'm saving it.
I think there should be some sort of implementation about, family policing their own family because of the consequences not only faced to the individual, but to the whole family as a whole. So everyone's ass is on the line. So, if you have one crazy person, the rest of the family is going to be like, yo, I know what you do at night. I can hear you talking to your jihadist friends. Don't you think about doing that? We're going to whoop you before you even leave the door.
Right.
So if family goes and polices themselves because their ass is on the line.
Well, but the problem with them policing themselves is, we caught little Susie. I'm sure that's not her Muslim name. Little Susie reading and going to school, and in certain parts of these Muslim countries, it's, okay, we're going to throw acid in the face. We're going to stone our daughter to death because we're policing.
You're saying that's in other countries. But
no, I'm talking about here. There's been honor killings here. There's been
there's been honor killings.
Fuck yeah! There's a father and a brother who
how close in Canada states.
Yeah, in Canada, and the daughter was trying to westernize herself, and she was viewed as disrespecting the family and probably being a little Islamic whore, and they fucking beat the shit out of her.
Her older brother killed her, right?
Yeah, man.
For real,
So
hey?
I don't think they should be policing the family. Here in Canada, what I like is I like that anybody could be anything that they want, which, you know, as much as I make fun of stuff, as much as I like to be ignorant and say jokes, at the end of the day, we can essentially do whatever we want. What is my issue with, you can pray to Allah, you can do all this fucking stuff, but when you start infringing on the rights of Canadians, or you start forcing us to follow your religion, take over, and be essentially invoke Sharia law, you want that over here. Because again, I don't think we should be, Canada or the United States should be fucking around over there. We should have got right out. It was a mistake.
You said it, man.
And they essentially like keep them the fuck out of there, because imagine if it was our families and you're out just enjoying your day. Say that the three of us are neighbors, and all of a sudden a airstrike comes and it kills both of you, because of course I'm going to survive in this scenario. But and then it's just like, well, fuck you. You're not even a person shooting me. You're a fucking machine dropping a bomb. And then they become angry about the Western world, and then they want to come and do jihadi sort of things.
Yeah.
They don't want necessarily start off that way. We've sort of manufactured this problem as our own, you know, as executive white cunts. And not you so much, because you're more of a yellow tone. But that's exactly what's happened. We've created this problem. I think you can be Muslim and follow Islam and live in Canada peacefully, but when people start fucking hyping things up, and of course you always have that group on the left will be like, oh, those fucking Muslims, oh, those terrorists and shit like that. You're always going to have that, but you have that with every group. There's African American groups in the city that are that I guess hate white people, for example, and that was based on their own ideologies growing up in what I'll call the hood. So it goes both ways, but I definitely don't think we should be policing the I guess letting them police themselves, because acid in the face, little girl can't read.
I guess.
Probably some goat fucking in there.
That's almost like under the assumption, though, like that every family is like.
Yeah, but their families, I'm sure, are a little bit more strict than your average family. You know, you skip school there, you're getting fucking 60 lashes.
Yeah, hard to say that. For me, that would be anecdotal. Isn't that what that would be? Anecdotal?
Oh, yeah.
At least for me, I can't really have too much of a firm stance on that. Like, I can believe that it happens for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that doesn't happen, but I feel like there still are like decent.
Oh, there's decent people out of everybody, but there's just a higher percentage of people having these radical ideologies based on actions of the West in their home country. So if I honestly saw somebody attacked, you know, Ottawa again or something like that, I'm not going to be personally angry because I don't have anybody there, unless I do, and then I have a personal connection.
Yeah.
But some people collectively will look at that and go, oh, this is an attack on our nation, and then get riled up about it.
Yeah.
So it's the same principle of if something happened over there, they're not maybe directly affected, but they still take it personally, and that's when it becomes radicalized and things like that.
Dang.
Not all of them are bad, and I have a few Muslim friends who are really good people, and I really enjoy. But some of them are fucking terrorists, and some of them have this ability to be more susceptible to this ideology.
But can you imagine though, like I guess like that would be obviously like the flaw in that plan. Sure.
Of course.
But what about in the instance where you just have one person in the family that's like trying to like, you know, because I feel like, you know, just like any other culture, you're always going to have, you know, the bad boy cool crowd, right? Just
what's the bad boy crowd?
You know, like kids, like
Ace is talking about it's the man's role. That's what he's saying.
No.
Right?
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Are you assuming my gender?
Oh no,
It's Zer. Thank you very much.
No, but I'm
I
just
was
saying.
gonna say
like,
Asians are hard to tell the sex sometimes. You have obviously stubble and shit, but if you like put on a fucking dress,
oh
and a
yeah,
wig,
dude,
it's like,
Thailand
you-
ladyboys, right?
yeah, man.
But,
yeah, are you talking about the patriarchy, Ace Shin? Is
I
that
don't
what
even
you're
know.
talking? I
Yeah.
think
I
that's
just
where you're
honestly,
going.
that just sounds like a really funny time to like claim if somebody was accusing me of assuming my gender.
Right? That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I feel you can
That
never
was
go
really
wrong.
funny. That was really funny.
Throw that one in there, but
So you're saying you think it'd be the role of the man or one person in the family to keep everything?
no,
kept?
I'm saying basically, imagine being from a country that you're born into, that like most of your world like believes, like to actually legitimately go and strangle a homosexual to death or whatever,
Okay.
and say that your family's actually normal and you just happen to live in this terrible society, and then like you kind of have
normal being. You're not one of the ones that want.
yeah, you're
people
just
dead.
like you're just mellow. You just want to chill.
Okay.
And you just want to mind your own
You
business. 'Cause-
possibly will have a homosexual strangle you. You know?
no. You just all you care about is your family.
right.
All you care about is your family. Like,
Sure.
I think that's pretty valid. Purpose of some men's lives,
Yeah.
regardless of what country, to
Right.
live for your family.
Yeah. Sure.
So
no
they
doubt.
can
yeah.
disregard whatever beliefs, like they don't want to hurt anybody unless they're hurting their family, kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Imagine being from a country though where the vast majority is like, depicted for this in another country, and that's the country you're moving to because that's where prosperity is.
Okay. Yeah.
Your family's working real hard to be prosperous, but you have this little brother. You have this little brother that, is kind of getting
Little Ahmed.
Yeah, little Ahmed. You got little
fucking
Ahmed.
terrorist.
You got little Ahmed.
He's
with-
he's cooking mustard gas
Yeah.
as a little
well, that's
chemistry
just
kit.
it. That's just it. You got little Ahmed hanging out, with some of the older kids that are getting him to like whatever some shit, and he just looks up to them because he thinks they're so cool, and then he's like plotting all this shit.
They're hanging their
Yeah.
turbans off on the left
Yeah.
side.
But like and he goes back, and he's parents catch on, siblings catch on. They're like, yo, like we're in Canada because we don't want to go back.
Right.
Like if you don't get your shit together, like we're gonna send you back over. Like,
No, because then
Right.
because then look
So
at
so you think it's the parents' role that if the kid does take that path, that they go back?
yeah,
Yeah.
because I would imagine like all these like terrorists, like if you look at them, right, like they obviously all have families, and like could you like it's hard for me to think that their parents are jihadist terrorists too,
Right.
and all that stuff, or like whatever, like families that come here, like there's a lot of big families, and, like,
Yeah.
a lot of them too, like other than maybe being kind of real slow and real stupid to our customs because total foreigners fresh off the boat kind of
Yeah.
thing. They're all just trying real hard to make it by too, it seems.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
especially when they come in like the
let's
boatloads.
not say trying too hard.
I
because-
guess when you got social benefits in the mix.
Oh,
and all that.
fucking right you do. Now we've created this whole other system.
But
where
like how
they-
long have we been complaining about social benefits for immigrants?
Well,
I feel like that's like a
no,
general
I'm
complaint for a society as long as we know.
I'm talking about
Right.
social benefits for everybody, where it's nobody tries even a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You have certain communities in inner cities that thrive on the welfare system.
Tell me, Mescal, why does that make you upset?
It makes me upset because my fucking taxes are paying for it, and I've had to conform to the system where I get a fucking job, I go to work every day, and I contribute, and I try, and I work hard. And these fucking people, it doesn't matter what ethnicity, what race, where you come from. If you're not going to try even a little bit, get the fuck out. And I'm not even joking on that one. The Syrian refugee shit, I've been against this since the fucking beginning. And I knew it would create, because the privately sponsored refugees, yeah, we're good. You don't have to touch the mic either.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. The publicly funded the privately funded refugees, they essentially, in Ontario at least, 90% of them found jobs. 90%. It's because they had people here that were ready to help them out and assist them and be, okay, we're gonna give you a good life in Canada. 10% didn't. Okay, if 10% has to go on the welfare system, I get that. But when the number of fucking refugees that are publicly funded that the government brought in and said, okay, your taxes are going to pay for these refugees, and the number is
Okay, let me just get you right here.
the
okay?
number is like really fucking low of the ones that have any employment. They now, after 1 year of being publicly supported, they go into the provincial welfare system, and now we get to pay for it. So bravo, Justin. You haven't legalized dope, but you sure made it more difficult for fucking average Canadians for taxes.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there because I'll ask this other question now.
Sure. Get all riled up with these questions. I apologize.
No. I 100% agree with you. Like, if you're not contributing, like,
it's ridiculous, man.
Hold on. Let me just ask this question here. Like you, I was very frustrated about knowing that my hard-earned money goes to fund, leeches of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, man.
So that's kind of also why I like investing too, because it also allows me to get back more of the money I make every year. So I think of that tax return as like a big, suck a dick, Justin. Like, you ain't taking all my money kind of thing. So
yeah,
why not do it that way? And then when you get to a point where, let's go back to dividend investing, you make enough passive income, you get to enjoy all the amenities of your country, and you don't got to work a single day for it, kind of thing. And then at that point,
who cares?
Laugh at all the refugees for being ridiculous.
Well, I guess my thing would be is why would I have to? Why is that like the choice to do that, right? What if I didn't want to do dividend investing and I still didn't want my money going to a thing that I feel is a big waste of fucking time?
Well, you guys, I always say when it comes to the whole immigration thing, and I've changed my stance on it, but like, I think
we need a wall here
rather than always having the refugee, like that's the problem. Immigrants in a large degree are geared towards social welfare, and I think we all agree that welfare is shitty and ineffective and wasteful and harmful.
If you really need it, if you're disabled, if you get a disease, like I've had a family member who's gotten a disease and they can't work at their job, that if they were able to, could still go to work. I think we should be looking after them. I think we should be looking after the natives that say are in a place like Attawapiskat, which is a shitty fucking area. And their suicide rates are astronomical. They have young people killing themselves because they can't get the proper support. So let's take care of the people here before we decide, let's bring in a shit ton of people.
Your life is so bad, it's easier just off yourself.
Fuck yeah. Well, when a fucking 12-pack of pop is like $20, it's like, yeah, I would be shooting myself too over those prices. But it's ridiculous. We pick the stupidest places to invest money.
But by my point was, by removing the incentives, by cutting them off the welfare state, not overnight, gradually over time, you force people to work. They can't mooch off the system because there's nothing to mooch off of.
Or we force them back onto the boat or onto the plane and say, okay, well, you had a good run, but I think you're going back.
There's definitely a much better way. I think of it this way. At least
genocide.
Come on. This is the actual...
I saw genocide.
It was a joke.
I just saw genocide on the tip of your tongue. I knew you were going for it.
But if we actually want to cause this problem that irks us so much, rather than laughing at the situation, want to try and find a legit way to actually get the process started. So this is what if I was a senator, would suggest.
Who knows? Maybe you will be one day.
Maybe one day. So this is my first act in office. Basically, if you are getting a welfare check for whatever ailment it may be, and depending on your limitations, because we can all judge that pretty quick.
Yes.
You have to put in a minimum of, let's say, 30 hours of community service a week. So you got to go out in the parks and you're
what normal people call is work.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Exactly. If they were doing something where it was and I totally agree with you. My 92-year-old grandmother, who's legally blind, she went up to the mayor of our small county and says, "Oh, you should get the welfare people on welfare to work and do jobs." And he's like, "Well, we can't just do that." He's trying to be nice to her, right? Because he was a family friend or whatever of an uncle of mine. Yeah. And it was just like, Granny is totally correct. If these people actually worked for their money, it would be like they had a publicly funded job. That's my point.
They don't have to work for it because they're guaranteed a certain amount from the federal government and provincial government. Take it away. Not like, again, you have to tie over the people that have become dependent on the systems, but you can phase it out in the same way.
That's true.
In the same way you implemented hockey visors.
So we've conditioned society to just be so reliable.
And the bands, obviously, they want that money because a group of about 6 of them control all of the finances of an entire reserve, which is why, some benefit immensely and most live in extreme poverty. It's a whole corrupt system, and that's how it works. It's from the top down. Like if you give 6 people the authority to control all of the economic activity of the rest of the group, I mean, you're bound to have inefficiencies and bad results. So yeah, I'm always harping, get rid of the fucking...
I feel like that's like a human thing too. Like it doesn't matter.
It is. It is. It's absolutely... It is.
That's a human default in itself.
Corruption is in our veins. Corruption and greed and like how many... So hypothetical question for the 3 of us. If you were on a game show and you're getting down to like the like looking behind the curtain, you just won like $10,000, and they say, okay, well maybe there's something in the box. Like which one of us would like look in the box? I wouldn't look in the box because I already have $10,000, so I figured I would cut my losses as I already have it. But like I'm sure you possibly would look in the box.
What do you mean?
Like there could be potentially a bigger prize than the $10,000 in the box.
Oh no, $10,000. That's I wouldn't risk it. Why would I risk it? If I know that there's $10,000?
What about $10,000 in like household like kitchenware and like a table and chairs, and you have the chance to win a car? If I
already have something secure, I'll just roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm not risking $10,000.
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
But how many people in our society would go, well,
hard to say.
I want to get more than that?
That might be an explanation for why there aren't more dividend investors. Because if you look up how to get rich, or how to make money, everyone's looking for that get rich quick scheme, right?
Totally.
Whereas dividend investing, it's sort of something over a long time, and people are impatient. It's the internet era, right, where everything is in tweets and short messages.
I noticed a lot of people are doing like options and calls and puts, and I tried talking to like one of the guys that I work with, and he's big into that. And I can't have any kind of conversation about investing. Like invest, like think of what the word actually means. Like you're investing in a company. It means you think it's gonna actually like grow, profit's gonna flourish, all this stuff. Like you're just gambling, dude. You're speculating.
So what are options and puts, and what was the other one? Calls?
Yeah, options, puts, and calls. I don't really know what they are too. It's just a lot.
But it's gambling. It sounds like
it's a lot of investment jargon.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That mic's been bugging you all episode, isn't it, Pascal?
Don't mind me. I'm just producing.
So, I don't know. What did you say? What dividends growing in? It targets a certain audience of people. Like it targets like a certain aspect of people that are like willing to wait rather than everyone wanting to get rich quick.
Yeah. What was that tied to? That the inability to enact social change when it came to welfare. Sort of same thing. People are looking for sort of an immediate solution. Like, all we need is another $100,000 for a reconciliation program. All we need is this certain amount of money, right? And when you have
people can adapt.
People can, and they will adapt, but the problem is government doesn't adapt. 1876 is when the Indian Act was signed. Well, and how often is legislation in general repealed? What happens is new administrations come in and they pass more and more and more laws. It's very hard to actually get rid of.
It's the media, dude. Like it boils right down to the media because
that goddamn media.
But think of it this way, like there's so much light shed upon like how great social systems are and just being social in general. Like
right.
Maybe we should be questioning the people though as to why they're just paying attention to the media and not looking into what actually, researching things such as what you've done, or when we talk about something.
Work. It takes
exactly, because they're fucking lazy.
They're lazy. Long people are looking for the quick results.
So maybe they should stop blaming the media and look in the mirror and say, "Hey, I should have listened to somebody who was a little bit more wise than just trusting Joe Blow on the fucking tube." Right?
CNN.
Big time. Well, that's what I mean. Like a lot of people, everyone wants to just feel good. You know what I mean? Like. You watch videos of people like donating to homeless people, right? Everyone's like,
it makes me feel awful. It's like, what a waste.
Just hear me out. This is my conspiracy theory here. So everyone's like, oh man, I feel so good just watching this person help out this homeless person. And basically now the election time is coming out. They're promising like all these, benefits to these people that are just barely able to make it by. And like Oh, it feels so. Yeah, it's gonna feel good for like the first time you pay them, but what about the next like 4 years worth of having to pay them and knowing that they're not doing anything?
That's what politics is. It's bribery for your vote. I'm gonna do this, this, and this for you.
Oh, is it ever?
Are ya?
And then even the conservatives, right? They're all about conservative and free markets until they get into power. And
when it comes to conservatives, one thing they did actually that got me real horned up was is they increased the tax-free savings account limit.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah,
from $5,500 to $10,000.
Right.
Oh man, that's
so. Explain that the tax-free savings account and the benefit to that in Canada.
So basically, I was telling you about these stocks create income, all that stuff, and government tracks everything. You got to pay taxes on anything you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
This account allows you to buy stocks and make the profits tax-free. That's all. Shaquille O'Neal, that's nothing but net. But yeah.
And do you need a TFSA to invest in dividends?
A TFSA, yeah, totally. If you want to invest in a dividend, TFSA is the best way to do it.
Okay.
Did I bump this mic down a little bit?
Bring it back up. You can do whatever you like with the mic. It's as long as it's pointed in the direction of you.
But no, TFSA is great. It allows you to build wealth real quick, just because you're not paying huge amounts on your returns. Like, think of it this way: how rich do you think you'd get if all your money, I
think about that all the time.
Oh,
no income tax even.
If you didn't have to do income tax, think how much more you'd have, or better off you'd be.
It's really insane the amount they take off. It's thousands of dollars every single paycheck.
Yeah,
it's fucking bullshit.
I was at the post. I was at the police office station getting a little record check done for work.
Yeah,
and I was sitting down waiting my turn, and this kind of like cheeky native dude comes and sits beside me. Like, we're friendly. Like, we've seen each other around, and we're nice to each other.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there telling me about his job, and he's telling me about how easy it was and how much money he made and blah blah blah, and just really trying to make me feel jealous kind of thing. And I was like, that's nice, Dwayne. I'm 26 years old and I have almost $250,000. Like, I'm okay with
mic drop. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I basically collect average of $700 a month without having to lift a finger. Like, you still got to answer to somebody. Like, and then he just didn't know what to say because I'm sure
postured up.
Yeah. So it kind of made him realize even with his benefits, there's still people that have it way better.
Oh yeah. And it feels way better to earn it too, right?
Oh, dude, totally. Dude, totally. Big time.
You just tell him to invest in some Lakota pain relief. That's brand they can
No, because the dude has he sound like he had what do you call it? Degenerate kids. I guess he was in there because his son ran his quad into some other person's vehicle or something crazy like that. So it's yeah, okay, have fun spending all your money on shit like that.
Lovely. You met the guy who ran into my fucking car.
Any parting thoughts on your first episode here?
Oh man, it was a thrill. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of
like
cool
a pro athlete. Yeah, it's a real thrill out there. So
yes.
Canned rehearsed line.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool having this mic in front of my. And what you hear in the earphones, that's actually your voice, eh?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not somebody else's.
Cool. Kind of got a sexy voice.
Totally. Sounds crisp.
Actually, we all kind of got real sexy voices.
Of course we do.
I like the way the voice sounds in headphones and through audio production.
And then you just hear it once it's put out. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And so plug your website, plug whatever. Where can people, check out your stuff? And
oh, you know what? I feel like Twitter is my best now.
Twitter?
Yeah.
I'll follow you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I not even follow you on Twitter? I got to follow you on Twitter.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
What's your Twitter handle?
It's just Dividend Digger, I think.
Dividend Digger.
I think it's what it is. The avatar or whatever it's called, the DD, white DDs and just the black, so double D.
Following.
Cool. Yeah, I only really anytime I tweet is just mainly when I just update my websites. But
awesome. Well, hey man, I've talked to you about this a whole bunch of times, and I still even learned something on this hour and a half podcast. Believe it or not. Yeah, I'm not as smart as you think I am, Ace. Takes me a while to learn some shit.
Right there.
Either way, though,
Ace just got 2 more followers.
But to say in Marcone's defense, this guy hustles. He knows. He moves.
Of course, he moves from car to car,
bobbing up into from my kitchen to my couch.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the art of deal kind of thing and making.
I'm trying,
Some
man.
good
I'm
side
I'm
hustles.
hustling and bustling. Yeah, I'm selling solar panels. I started the multimedia company, and I've got some deals made up here, some content produced, and I like where this is growing too. You know, I've got a collection of really interesting people, yourself included, with content on the
Appreciate
website.
that.
You know, and it's going to grow over time because we're never going to give up. It's as simple as that.
Sweet. Yeah.
Just like dividend
That's
investing,
amazing.
Ace.
Just like dividend investing.
Yeah, exponential growth.
Really,
That's 100%. You put in the time, you know, and think big. Don't hold yourself too.
We're sitting in a
too short.
studio right now. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus, like green screen. We'll have more green screens too. Look how many fucking lights we have.
It
Like,
was-
you can't get any more real than this now at this point.
No, this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hyped too because like years down the road, I'll say, I was in like the OG studio.
Oh yeah.
Unless
Fucking
there has been something more OG. Than
Oh, no,
there's
there's
been
gonna-
more OG.
There's
Yeah.
gonna be
We had 2 laptops and 2 microphones. That's how we started.
gangsta.
That is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
We've been doing that a while.
So
But,
yeah, follow me on Twitter at Matt Marconi. All the content you can see at libertymultimedia.com. And I'm on Facebook as well.
And of course, Maskel Podcasting Network. Rate, review, subscribe, share. Check out me on Twitter as well, Maskel91, and visit my website, maskel.tv. And until next time, Marconi.